Hey there. Happy 2013. Woohoo! We made it. It's kind of funny to say that given everything I missed through last year. Things could have turned out very different for me if I hadn't gone to the doctor and hadn't been persistent and a whole bunch of other things. We say things kind of jokingly sometimes, but there's a lot of truth behind things and a lot to think about if we allow ourselves. So I had a conversation briefly yesterday with a friend of mine, and it's one I definitely want to blog about, and I'm actually thinking I want to write it in text. But in short form, it has to do with people thinking we don't play ourselves right. We don't, I forget how I worded it. I actually wrote it out, because if I didn't, I probably would have forgotten it. But the essence is that so many people will judge it whether we're doing something right or not. And even those who have the best interests of people's hearts in mind, who are they to say what is right to do? So I need to flesh it out more, and I think if I write it out, I'll be able to do that. So if you like the idea of the essence of what I'm saying, be looking for that. I hope your new year is off to a great start. And I have to say, lately I've been kind of excited because I've been doing a lot of fishing. I applied to speak at an expo in March. I applied for a speakers bureau, which I think you guys already knew if you have been keeping up with anything. I have reached out to a few people to do a guest blog. I finished the webpage relatingtocancer.com, which definitely needs to be enhanced and developed and everything else, but at least it started. Yay. And I wanted to do that before the end of last year, so I'm pretty thrilled that I actually managed to do that. And I have to thank a friend of mine for helping, because there were a few pieces that I was having struggles with, and he helped me to fine-tune it. So I'd mentioned his name, except I'm not sure how he'd feel about it. So, but he knows who he is, and he knows that I'm grateful for that. So if it wasn't for what he did, it probably would, it might be up now, but it might not look the way it does. And I've already had some feedback that some people like it, so I'm kind of thrilled about that, because I wasn't quite sure what I thought at first. I have been in contact with some awesome people about some awesome things, and one of them is a woman who is into helping people here in Maryland who are dealing with cancer. She's a dynamo, and I don't know what's going to happen, but when I know more, I'll be happy to share. But she was definitely telling me a lot of things that just really were downright despicable about how people who have cancer are treated, and basically they're treated like a commodity. She also recommended that if I was up for it, that I should do some fundraising for ovarian cancer, because that's one of the ones that there isn't much funds for. And actually someone had written about what it's like in Maryland to try to get funding when you have cancer, and I actually quoted that on Facebook, which I'm going to probably wind up putting on my blog at one point, because people think I can get all kinds of help, and I really can't. But she thinks I have try that again. she thinks I have a great idea about how I want to help people and how much of a need there is for how I want to do it. And I can only hope that I'll be able to figure out a way to find those people who are in need and make it work. And I need to make a living, so I need to find a way to make money from this. But for those who can't afford it, I would love to find a way to get some money so that people who can't afford it can afford to get my help. So don't be surprised if you see something from me in an effort to try to raise some funds for ovarian cancer or for some grants to help people who are in need when it comes to their emotional well-being, spiritual well-being. That's the emotional and the spiritual are the parts of us who have dealt with cancer that actually take a bigger hit, because you can get treated for the cancer, but the rest of it just, there's a big gap there. So, and then when you lose friends and family who can't deal with it, it kind of leaves you hanging out as well. So, I don't know. There's definitely a need, and definitely my heart goes out to people, and I can so identify. I'm trying to think. There's other things I've done too, but I can't think of what they are. And if anything, I'm actually kind of overwhelmed by stuff. I'm trying to get organized. I'm trying to figure out how best to do what I need to do, but it's not easy. And yesterday I was so tired. It was weird because I was really tired, and it was not even that late, and I was going to go to bed, but then I kept doing stuff, and the other thing was that I'm taking some calls on Keen now. I've done intuitive work in the past, and with the letters of love, which is another thing I've been doing, because I had offered several of them, which, by the way, if you're waiting on one, I'm getting there. I had offered several as a gift that was free before the end of the year, so I decided that I should start trying to take some Keen calls, and I'm not sure what's going on, because in the past I have made myself available and not gotten calls, but maybe it's just the holidays. Maybe there's a lot of people who aren't online taking calls. Maybe their energy's changed. I don't know, but I've gotten a bunch of calls, which is nice. I'm not making much money. I'm kind of low priced, but at least I'm getting the calls, which is a beautiful thing. So, trying to think if there's anything else I want to say, because I'm getting close to the 10-minute mark. Sometimes I just feel like I'm talking, and I don't know if anybody wants to listen to me talk and talk and talk. Although some people tell me they find it interesting, and there have been some people who told me they've read my blog, and some people have said they've read every entry, and that they're really interested in what I have to say and what my experience has been like, which, that's also that whole you're doing it wrong thing, because I hear voices in my head telling me I'm doing things wrong, and even my relatingtocancer.com page, I'm sure there are going to be people who go, oh my God, there's too many words here. But then I get people who tell me, you write really well, and I can't help but read what you wrote. So I'm thinking, at least for now, it's what it is. And even if it doesn't fit what people think is right, we'll see how it goes. So, I don't know what else to say. So I guess I'm done for now. I will wish you, once again, the best of 2013. I hope you're having a great start to a great year. And, one more thing before I forget. I had started a blog a few years ago when I was on Twitter, and I had asked people some questions about themselves. And I wanted to start trying to help people to get to know other people. So I've decided on Facebook that I'm going to kind of introduce my friends to my other friends, and I'm going to reignite that blog, and I hope you'll check it out, and I hope you'll give me something to add to it. And I really love the idea of connecting people, so just, tell me what you want people to know, and, I would have to hope, too, that people would love to have you reach out to them as well. Really cool thing, I put up something last night before I went to bed, very last thing, and I noticed, and I have to get back to you guys, that 2 people interacted with each other, which was pretty darn awesome. So, that's the kind of thing I love. So, I guess that's about it. I don't know if that's enough. What do you think? So, if you know of anything that would be helpful to me, any radio shows, any blogs, anything, please let me know. And if you know of anyone who could use relatingtocancer.com, please let them know. And I also making a request that you just go ahead and share that page with people, whether you think that they know of anybody or not, and just get the word out. So, because even if you don't know anybody, take my word for it. If there is someone who's in need, I think I really can help, and I think that they'll really appreciate it. And I guess that's it now. Sayonara. Happy New Year. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.